pick your weapon. You will be judged.
Yeah, Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency on the planet. Everything else is a corporate scam. Now, you can make a lot of money with scams, but that's what the fuck they are. They don't do shit.
Bitcoin's a better scam than the other scams. Got it.
Bitcoin is the single best form of money and currency we've ever fucking had. And when it comes to
it's
full
not money unless you can buy stuff with it.
God damn it, Ryan. One of these days, I'm fucking telling you, you're going to come around.
We had this debate and everyone laughed at you.
That's because they're fucking dumb.
Do it again. Can I buy a sandwich with Bitcoin? Can I pay my electric bill? Can I pay my rent? No.
Complaining the car is going to work in 1920. I mean, that's what you're doing.
No.
You're complaining that the car is a failure because we got the Model T.
It's a failure because it's a failure. I'm not saying Bitcoin will always suck. I'm saying it sucks right now. It's not money.
The only tool we have, take the fucking power back from them. End of story. It's the only weapon we have.
That weapon doesn't work.
Undermines the money supply. It will.
Okay, I'm banned on the exchanges and can't use cryptocurrency. So since you have to currently, don't give me this shit about 100 years from now. Currently, you have to use an exchange in order to get your money back. And they can cut you off on the exchange. Or they can not allow you to liquidate your assets and say, oh yeah, you can't sell it at this price. You have to wait till it goes down. Now you can sell it.
I've been living on mostly Bitcoin for like 5 fucking years, you know.
I know somebody that won the lottery too. Doesn't make it a good mathematical investment. I'm banned on all that stuff, which means you're not fighting them because they do have ability if they want to just click the switch and turn off your everything.
Nope, you do not understand.
Am I not banned on Coinbase and BitThumb and all that crap? Because I am. So is Red Ice.
I question those claims, but we can talk about that another time. There's always a way, and that's the whole reason Bitcoin exists in the first place.
What's the way? Meet someone and get them to do it for me and hand you cash? That's ridiculous.
Well, let me. I'm gonna talk about blockchain for just 1 second because people
I like blockchain. We have PeerTube on blockchain. That's not the problem. The problem is the exchanges.
Okay, right, but I'm changing the subject.
No, you're not. The bottleneck is the exchange. That's the weakness. Admit that that's a weak point, and so it doesn't work.
That's like saying I can't see the sun because it's dark out, so there's no sun.
No, it's not at all. That's a totally false equivalent analogy. They can ban you from exchanges. You have to use the exchange to get your money. If you get banned on the exchange, the rest of it doesn't matter.
I haven't been banned on an exchange. The vast majority of people aren't banned.
But you can be if you're speaking out. If you're doing what I'm doing, they can cut it off. I was the only person banned on YouTube back in 2008, but look what happened a few years later. Everybody started getting banned.
So I want to clarify one thing.
When they knew Hamas and Hezbollah were using Bitcoin to get cash, it suddenly dropped 40% in like 20 hours.
The micro changes, the day-to-day are irrelevant. What you should be looking at is transactional
micro change. It dropped 40%.
Good. I'm hoping Bitcoin right now is probably going to drop to.
Look, if it goes up or down 40% that fast, that's not good. Right? Because either the buyer or the seller is getting fucked. Because they're like, man, if I had held it another day, it would have been worth this much. Or, damn, I just sold it, or I wanted to, and it bottomed out. Either way, if you have that much volatility of it going up and down really quickly, you can't use it as a currency.
Do you understand why it goes up and down that quickly?
Yeah, I do. And it doesn't matter either. If it's volatile, then you can't rely on it for trades.
That's how you make all your money, is in volatility. If there was no volatility, nobody ever. That's just
glorified online gambling. Your claim was that this is money, that is currency, you're going to replace the dollar. It cannot. It's not based on anything but hype. It's not tied to labor. It's too volatile. You can't buy goods with it, and they can ban you on exchanges.
No, you need to read some Austrian economics.
Counter any one of the points I just said instead of changing the subject. You can get banned and are getting banned on exchanges. It is volatile, and you can't buy stuff with it.
Okay, so again, we're back to you are complaining that the car is a failure because all we got is the Model T.
No, I'm not. That is a false analogy.
No, it's not a false
analogy. Don't give analogies. Talk about what we're talking about. You cannot buy things with Bitcoin.
Hundreds of
currently.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah, from Overstock or whatever. You can't do your daily shit on a Bitcoin. You have to exchange it for real money. Its only value, the only value for Bitcoin, is to hopefully sell it for more than what you bought it for. It's a glorified Beanie Baby.
No, it isn't. So you see, this is like me trying to, talk to, Oswald did it people. This is the same conversation. We're not having the same conversation here. You don't understand the technology. You don't understand the economic implications.
Really, I don't understand that I can't pay my rent with Bitcoin, because that's pretty common sense.
I've been paying my rent for years, and the vast majority of my income is at least stored in Bitcoin.
Because you can exchange it for dollars and use the dollars to pay your rent.
Right. There will be, I'm telling you with certainty, our country is going to fail, the dollar is going to collapse, and everyone is going to rush to Bitcoin because it's the only solution not controlled by them.
Bitcoin, if the dollar collapses, so does Bitcoin, because you have to exchange it for dollars before you can use it.
Only in the short term.
Right now, because don't say you think that's going to change.
The value of the dollar is going to collapse faster, and it's going to drive the price of Bitcoin.
The dollar has never dropped 40% in a day in the history of the dollar. Never.
No, it doesn't. We've lost 98% of our value since fucking 1930.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's
lost 98% of your value on Bitcoin too, because it's tied to the dollar, since you have to exchange it for dollars before you can use it. It's still tied to fiat. I don't know how you can't understand that.
No, I do understand.
You can say you can use it as a hedge and say, I think inflation of the dollar is faster than the coins.
What's going on right now, and you see in the crypto space, is an incremental step towards. We're moving towards a day when you will not have to convert. You will not have to change it to dollars. You will not even consider dollars. These are or bits. That's how it's going to be.
That'd be Minority Report from Tom Cruise, where they don't like you, they just turn off your wallet, and now you can't buy and sell anything.
Bitcoin doesn't work that way, and especially once they finish their second layer solutions.
Turn off their exchange, kick them off the exchange, and freeze their account, and they cannot get access to their wallet.
You're not going to need exchange. You're not going to need anything.
So you're arguing about your futuristic fantasy world, and not the one we actually live in, where people are buying coins.
Drive on it. Period. We got to pave the road before we can drive on it. And the biggest obstacle is not going to be regulation. It's going to be the technology itself. And honestly, there's a lot of shit going on in crypto that's scary as fuck. This whole DeFi movement, we're not even going to talk about that. It's BitConnect 2.0 is what it is. But
it's a religion of online gamblers.
No, it's not. So let me make one clarification on the entire crypto space. Everyone is looking towards blockchain like it's some sort of like super amazing fucking thing. It's all kinds of great. Blockchains in and of themselves are fucking ridiculously stupid, inefficient, small databases that are only required when you need decentralization. And the only reason you need decentralization is because of censorship, financial censorship. That's a pretty big reason. That is the only reason anyone needs a blockchain, period. So the motherfucker says you need a blockchain to put your house codes on, or your real estate, or your fucking car, or anything. They're bullshitting you. They're fucking pissing your leg and telling you that it's raining. They're all scams. Now, you can make a lot of fucking money on scams.
Oh, yeah. I made a lot of money on Beanie Babies, but I still thought the people buying them were stupid.
Yeah, but the reality is, man, if you can get rich by buying dog shit, people are going to buy dog shit. And that's
I have no problem. I think you should buy Bitcoin and profit from it. That's not my argument. My argument is it's not going to replace the dollar and save you from fractional reserve banking and blah, 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 blah. It's just online gambling. It's still tied to the dollar. They can still cut you off. They can still censor you. It's not a solution.
It's the only solution.
It's not a solution.
And one day you'll see it.
Because with a flick, they can just and turn it off. You're better off with cash. You can use that anywhere. I mean, it's just like, well, your wallet's frozen. Or you're like, oh my God, look how high the price is. I'm going to sell some of my coins today. And you don't have a buyer. And they freeze it until the price goes down. And they go, now you can sell. But you've got 90% of the coins owned by 17 people. It's so easy to manipulate. I think it's 7 people, actually. It's a fucking scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. Because it's that's why people are so religious about it. They need more people to buy in so they can sell the shit that they bought.
So let me explain the difference. A Ponzi scheme, you need people to pay in to pay back your initial investors.
Where does the money come from when you sell a coin? It comes from the other people that deposited dollars in to buy coins.
Where are the coins coming from is the point I'm making. They're printing them out of fucking thin air.
No, U.S. Mint doesn't print
coins out of air. I'm talking about shit. A scam needs somebody to be ripped off. when someone buys a coin, they make a bunch of money on it. Nobody's getting ripped off.
They made a bunch of money on it.
Money.
Someone else lost a bunch of money on it.
No, that's not how it works. Because people are constantly buying and selling. Micro trading happens every day.
Micro losses.
And when something goes down, if Bitcoin's going to drop from this peak, you got motherfuckers shorting it, so they're making money as it goes down. No, I didn't create these systems.
Someone's got to be on the other side of the short doing the opposite bet.
I mean, if you're going to say that, then you have to encompass the entire stock market, the bond market, the commodities market.
The difference is when you invest in a company that has a product, they can take that initial capital to expand their business to sell more products and increase their profit margin.
Right, but you're also ignoring the fact that it's a brand new
Bitcoin.
asset.
It's all hype. It's just based on what you think other people think the price is.
That's everything.
No, it's not. There's a big difference between having an actual product that people want to buy and use.
Money to labor, ridiculous. You can't
Tying money to labor is not ridiculous. The reason money has value, besides being able to use it as a trade medium, is because it takes X amount of time and hours and effort to acquire the money. If you just got it effortlessly, it would have no value at all.
Difficult. What you're describing is the difficulty. So when you mine gold, there's a certain
value. Why am I not willing to just throw $20 out the window? Because it took me a certain amount of work and time to acquire that $20. That's why I value the $20. Right. Not just because I can buy $20 worth of stuff. It's like because that person's not going to accept it either. It's like you had to put in X amount of labor to get that money. That's why it has value. It's not based on gold. It's not based on all this shit. It's just based on the time and effort it took to acquire the money. And the more you just print money without increasing labor, the more money is devalued because you increase the money supply without the labor. So the value of money goes down. But with Bitcoin, it's not like a stock.
It's really easier. It would be easier if people would just say, "Hey, I don't get it." It's easier if you just say, "I don't get it," than try to apply antiquated principles to something new, which is what you're doing.
I am banned on the exchanges. I have lived that. I had Bitcoin back in 2012. If I had been allowed to keep them, I have millions of dollars right now. But they're not going to let someone like me profit from that. I can't even use Western Union, though. I got banned from Western Union and PayPal. And that's the problem with these digital things, so they can just go and cut it off.
Nope. If I have Bitcoin and I want to send it to you, no one can ever stop me from doing that.
And I can't do anything with it other than send it back to you because I can't exchange it for any money. So it's useless. I can't buy anything with it, and I can't exchange it for dollars. It's totally useless. If you gave me a Bitcoin, I'd send it right back to you. I'm like, I can't use this. If you gave it to me for free, I'd be like, yeah, here, someone else take this. Because I can't use it. There's nothing I can purchase with it, and I can't convert it to dollars, so why do I need it?
Stubborn and not explore
That's not stubborn.
The many options.
I'm not allowed to buy anything with it, and I'm not going to get a bunch of gift cards from Amazon or something stupid, and I'm not going to be able to exchange it, so what do I need it for?
The bottom line is
exactly.
This is when we start talking in circles. We've had this. It's like
because you're not answering. I made me a direct question. You're talking about Model Ts and all this bullshit, and not talking about what I'm saying.
The questions don't apply to the conversation. The statements you're making.
I tell you, this is what you're doing. You get cornered, and you know you're wrong, so you go, "Yeah, that's how it is now." But in 50 years, we'll fix all that, and we won't need any of those things. That's your rebuttal.
It should be an instant fix overnight, right? You think instantly, boom, it's the technology's here, and as it stands already, it's the single most appreciative asset in the history of the world. You understand that, right? So, besides that fact alone, right there, the fact that trillions of dollars every day are being sent through transaction throughput, it is being used daily for more things than just simple investment. It is getting down to the micro level, which I don't think it should yet. I think we're 10 years away from it being accepted in stores, which is fine. But you're ignoring
it's not going to be accepted in stores because it's too volatile. Either the buyer or the seller is going to get fucked when you have something that isn't stable. That's why people have petrodollar, because the other currencies fluctuated too quickly.
Right, but Bitcoin, when it reaches 10 million, 20 million per Bitcoin, which it will within the next decade, you're not going to detect those.
Coin, right? That's your prediction?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. It's going to break 10 million within 10 years. I promise you that. It is currently on track to break 1 million in 2027 as per the logarithmic chart, which has never been wrong in 10 years.
Right.
So, and once it hits for it to go up from there, it's going to go up way quicker.
I remember you saying that 3 years ago, and it bottomed out. You go, well, no, I made a mistake. I got it right this time. And then you got it wrong again. And you're like, I got it right this time. And it finally went up. And you're like, I'm right. Hooray. You had a victory dance. And then like a month later, it went down halfway again.
Bitcoin right now is at 47,000. It is going to go back to 25,000. You want it to go to 20,000 in a perfect world.
I think it'll go up to about 100,000. And then it'll go down to like 60,000 again. You can ride that wave.
I expect more of it to go from 100 down to whatever the next peak is. Whatever the next peak we see, when it hits 100, it'll fall back to that, because you need positions of support, you need to complete cycles, and people who don't know about this stuff are they're lost because they don't understand the volatility.
Well, I agree. If you're not banned on all this shit and stuff, go ahead and buy it and make money on it. I think in the long run, it'll go up and down, but it'll go up more times than it goes down. I'm not arguing against buying Bitcoin and using online gambling. I just want you to admit that it's online gambling. It's not a replacement of a currency, because you can't buy things with it.
That's like telling a professional poker player that
this is like betting on the Mormon religion. It's probably going to grow. Doesn't mean they're right. It's online gambling. It's like, it's not a replacement for all this stuff. And here's the other thing. The government can come along and go, you know what? We found out that so-and-so were using Bitcoins to purchase, pedophiles and human trafficking and illegal drugs and da-da-da. We need to regulate this shit. And enough of that happens enough times, and that is already started. You have like China just got rid of them. You can have whole states just go, yep, no Bitcoins. It's a really big risk where it can just be like clap and go down to zero. Like if you got a lot of money, go ahead and play with it. But if you don't put all your eggs in one basket, because Bitcoin can just totally drop, and you'd be waiting like 5 fucking years for it to get to back, or at least a year, to get back to what you bought it at. And most people cannot just sit there for a year with their money. People, oh yeah, why don't you just put some money in that? It's like, because I need that money every month to pay my rent and da-da-da-da-da-da. You live hand to mouth. You don't have the privilege to gamble with your money.
I live hand to mouth, and I've been using Bitcoin for years. And
you got to the point where I sent you money because you had a dip. And it's like, so, it's like, yeah, you're fine now. Yeah. But like, what if nobody float you through the dip, Then you're fucked. You're homeless. Like, that's not worth it.
Financial argument.
Trust me, if you had children and stuff, you wouldn't take that kind of risk. Because it's not just you.
Yeah, of course. Fucking having kids. God, what a horrible decision.
They're the best thing ever.
I know. Everyone who has them says that. So I hope to never have them.
I'll be that guy that's like, kids suck, but my kids are good.
No, I think the conversation is interesting.